This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. During tax season, your personal info travels to a lot of places. Between payroll, your tax consultant, and the IRS. If your W-2 gets exposed, that's just the ticket for identity thieves. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Don't let identity thieves take you for a ride. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Welcome back, everybody. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Today is Monday, March 3rd, 2025. Born on this date in 1949, Army Colonel and astronaut Jim Voss of Cordova. He flew space shuttle missions and worked aboard the International Space Station. Today, we have a disagreement over a death penalty case, tragedy for a Mardi Gras performer, and an actress who's coming home. And we'll do another place name history. My name's Ike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama. Alabama's Attorney General has voiced his disagreement with Alabama Governor Kay Ivey's decision to commute Rocky Myers' death sentence to life in prison, reports AL.com's Howard Koplowitz. Steve Marshall issued a statement Friday night to say he was astonished at the decision. After she received a clemency plea from Myers, the governor said she had too many questions about the case, such as a lack of a murder weapon and physical evidence. Marshall, who had sent a 16-page letter to the governor arguing against the commutation, said Myers' claims have already been litigated. Myers, who's now 63, has been on death row for more than 30 years for the stabbing death of Ludie Mae Tucker. R&B singer Angie Stone died in a Montgomery County car crash, reports AL.com's Heather Gann. The 63-year-old Stone was part of the female hip-hop trio The Sequence. Her solo hits include No More Rain in This Cloud and U-Haul. Stone had performed at the Magma Grand Marshals Ball in Mobile on Friday night and was en route to Atlanta. According to Aaliyah, the van Stone was riding in overturned in a single-vehicle crash about 5 miles south of Montgomery, then was struck by a tractor-trailer. 8 other people in the van were injured. Birmingham-born actress Barrett Swadek has found plenty of success in Hollywood since leaving Alabama. Now, if you don't know her from Lethal Weapon 4, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, or the Seventh Heaven series, then you might know her turn as Victoria Jenkins on Yellowstone. She married a now-retired hedge fund manager, and a few years ago they bought a $45 million home in Maui. Apparently, they then renovated the $45 million Maui home, which explains that rock-bottom price, I guess. Well, as many in our audience have shared with me before, Alabama has a way of calling people home. And sometimes that call is because of youngins. Swadek gave birth to the couple's daughter Dixon last year, to add to 2 other girls from her husband's previous marriage. And according to a report in the Wall Street Journal, they plan to move to her parents' horse farm near Birmingham. In this story, here's the good news for any of you who are looking to go the other direction from Alabama. There's a home in Maui that'll be put up for auction April 10th. Let's go back to the Wiregrass for this week's Alabama place name. Now, if you'll indulge me, I'll set it up with a semi-personal story that shouldn't be funny, but somehow it is, at least to me. But I played college baseball very briefly with a couple of guys who were from Opp, Alabama. They found out that I had spent a good bit of my youth in and around Panama City Beach, and so they told me their Panama City Beach story. They did not tell this as a joke, so maybe it's not funny. One of them said, yeah, a bunch of us loaded up and drove the truck down there just last year. We were driving along 98 looking for a place to stay, and one little motel had a sign that said, if you're from Opp, don't stop. Now, I said I didn't believe that the sign could have been that specific, and why the Opp discrimination? Did they find out what it was all about? And he said, no, we wondered too, but the sign said not to stop, so we didn't. Now, I didn't make that up because I would have added a punchline, but this week's Alabama place name is Opp, and it's not as mysterious as some of these other place names have been. Opp was named after Andalusia Mayor Henry Opp, who held that office at the beginning of the 20th century. Opp was also a lawyer, according to the Andalusia Star News and the city of Opp and other sources. During some railroad legal wrangling, he was instrumental in the L&N Railroad's efforts to extend from Georgiana down through Covington County, including a stop just south of the former town of Halton. The Halton post office was moved down to the railroad station, and the Alabama General Assembly of 1901, which, if you know your Alabama history, was a pretty busy one, established the town of Opp. Gave everybody a reason to stop. Thank y'all so much for listening to us. We're going to be back here again tomorrow. Until then, y'all come on by and see what we're doing anytime you want to on the internet at al.com.